is brought to you by EB Games. We take games seriously.
Now here's one for the Xbox called Quantum Redshift. Now Quantum Redshift was a lot like, the F-Zero and Wipeout style games, but the graphics on this are absolutely stunning. The water and the reflections were just incredible. I mean, this is better graphics than F-Zero and Wipeout combined. They had that kind of cool electronica, techno vibe music going on as well. The blasters and the effects and the lighting. And the speed on it was also really well done. You can play up to 4 players on, the split screen thing like that, but who wants to play like that? I mean, you get a little thing, even if you got a big screen TV or things like that, no one ever plays that way. The weapons are amazing, the speed's amazing, the vehicles are amazing, never got its props. Xbox only, go check it out.
Welcome to Versus. Today we have 2 wrestling games for you. We've got WWE Smackdown, Here Comes the Pain for the PlayStation 2, and we've got WWE Raw 2 for the Xbox. Both of these games are from THQ.
I think we should do the whole Versus review in our wrestler voices.
I think that sounds like a great idea, Tommy. I'm gonna kick your ass. What'd you think of the graphics? I thought the graphics were incredible.
Okay, maybe not.
Okay, we're not going to do that because it hurts our throat. What did you think of the visuals for these 2 games?
Well, Smackdown definitely lays the Smackdown
on Raw.
Which is incredible because Smackdown is on the PlayStation 2, Raw is on the Xbox.
Right.
You'd think that the Xbox would have the graphic advantage here, but no, I say. The players are unbelievable in Smackdown. You can even see their back hairs coming out, which is
a little creepy. One of the great things about Smackdown are all the different camera angles that are in the game. Much more dynamic. You're absolutely taken all around the ring. There's the Smackdown effects where you actually grab a guy and go into slow motion and do these killer kind of, hurting type moves on everybody. Yeah. That's not to say that Raw's graphics are bad.
No, I will go and say
I don't think they are bad.
All the characters look like they have this glossy candy coating.
They do look a little more plastic.
I don't know if I wanted to play them or lick them.
Absolutely, but they did have some realistic facial expressions. I thought The Rock looked great on both games, and some of the animations were a little bit smoother on Raw. But I think...
Did you play the same game?
I did play both the games.
The animations on Raw...
I agree with you, though. There is a bit of a clunkiness before you get to those good animations.
So Smackdown gets the thumbs up for the graphics.
Absolutely.
How about gameplay?
Gameplay, Smackdown wins again. I think it's really putting the beat on Raw here. I think what's happened is we've got a much faster, much tighter feeling game in Smackdown. In Raw, I was just, I felt like I was waiting for stuff to happen. I'd be pressing the buttons and everything would just take so long to do.
Now, Raw has Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
The Rock, like you said, and Triple H.
Rock looks good in both games.
I think it looks way better in Smackdown.
Both games allow you to create your own character, but the editor is so much better at Smackdown. You can do everything. You can completely tweak every kind of position on a person's head. You can make them look super realistic or super cartoony with big clown hair.
And the women as well, you get massive breastages.
Yes, you do. You must have liked the fact that you can see the underwear on the girl with the skirt when she's fighting.
I mean, that's gold right there.
And actually, the gameplay in Smackdown, they actually have a bra and panties match where you can see the women fight to try to strip each other's clothes off.
Do I need to say any more at this point?
It's got Tommy written all over it.
The amazing thing, though, is that I thought that Smackdown really captured the essence of wrestling. The way they even set up and walk into the rings, and you get the Rock videos and the sparks flying. It just left me a little flat raw.
It felt like it wasn't finished. They're developed by 2 different studios. We've got Ukes on SmackDown, we've got Anchor on Raw, and definitely the Ukes game has much, much tighter gameplay. Let's talk now about the audio.
You want to know something I thought was interesting about all the wrestling games, these 2 especially?
Yes.
There's no color commentary going on throughout the wrestling matches, and that's one thing for people and fans of wrestling who watch wrestling. They always talk smack on each other, but neither game had that.
There's no performance, and I think THQ, if they're going to maintain this license, they got to go out and spend the money and get these wrestlers into sound booths. So overall, SmackDown.
Raw.
You like Raw better?
No,
yeah,
I'm just kidding.
What a surprise.
I surprised him. Did you see that? You almost...
shock.
Did you see that? You like that?
I didn't do that.
Well, I give SmackDown a 7.5. Not a big wrestling fan, so I didn't really get into it that much.
I really like SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain. I would give that 8.5. Second favorite wrestling game after Def Jam Vendetta.
Raw, I thought was even worse than that. I give it a 5.5.
I didn't like Raw 2 at all. It's not a game I would ever play again. 4.5. And I guess it's pretty obvious. The clear winner of this episode is SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain. Today on the show, we took a look at Gotcha Force from Capcom for the GameCube. Now, this is a cutesy-looking game that's action-packed, but cutesy might not be what everyone's looking for. On the Xbox, but it's also available for the PC, we looked at Armed and Dangerous from LucasArts. There's a great sense of humor and some very cool weapons in this game, but it's really not a technical showcase. On the PlayStation 2, we looked at Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2. This is a big improvement over the first game, but the characters should wash their filthy mouths out with some soap. In Versus, we looked at WWE Smackdown Here Comes the Pain for the PlayStation 2. This is a great wrestling game with lots of crazy over-the-top camera angles and super fast action. We looked at that one against WWE Raw 2 for the Xbox. This wrestling game really let us down with cumbersome controls and gameplay that wasn't nearly as good as SmackDown. In hardware, we looked at the TV game system from Jakks Pacific, specifically the Namco one. This is a great-looking device with a killer collection of games. Definitely recommended. And on the Game Boy Advance, I reviewed Metroid Zero Mission. This is an absolute must-have for Game Boy Advance owners and Metroid maniacs like myself. Well, that's our trip to the anime store. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Man, I love pink-haired girls with really big breasts.
What are you looking at here?
It's anime, man.
Today in Hardware, we're taking a look at a device that allows us to go back in time. These are the
Time machine.
It is a time machine, yes, and
Marty, we gotta go back in time. It's your kids, Marty.
Really don't need to be seeing that right
is that bad? Okay, here we go. All right,
It's your kids, Marty.
okay, here we go. And some of the sound isn't exactly perfect, but only a few people would really care about